who in here has ever attended an org day? Okay. How about a battalion ball? Okay. And have you ever wondered who puts on those events? Well, more often than not, the Family Readiness Group is the organization that gives those events. If you have attended an FRG event or meeting, you probably have a pretty good idea of what the FRG is about. However, it can get a little confusing as to what the FRG's role is exactly. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of who and what the FRG is and what it does. First, the FRG is defined by the Family Readiness Handbook as an organization of family members, volunteers, and soldiers, and civilian employees belonging to a unit or organization who together provide an avenue of mutual support and assistance and a network of communication among the members, the chain of command, and the community resources. So that's a lot to take in, but basically the FRG is a group of people that help to make Army life enjoyable. It's really better defined by the FRG mission statement, which is assistance to commanders in maintaining readiness of the soldiers, families, and communities within the Army by providing self-sufficiency, resiliency, stability during peace of war. There is a definite need for the FRG when considering 60% of soldiers are married and the ratio of children to soldiers is 2-to-1. The FRG is made up of strictly volunteer services. The American Heritage Dictionary describes volunteer as a person who performs a service of his or her own free will to charitable or helpful organizations without pay. It is vital to the Department of the Army to have these individuals volunteer because the FRG handbook notes it saves $250 million a year to have volunteers. As the mission statement describes, commanders, soldiers, and families make up these volunteers. So obviously we understand the commanders. The soldiers can be either single or married, and the families are not just spouses, but girlfriends, boyfriends, aunts, uncles, sisters, and so on. The FRG is for any volunteer that is interested in fulfilling tasks of being an information conduit, a welcoming organization, or a social support group. The FRG is not a babysitting service or a financial institution, but the people who volunteer for it are friends, a listening ear, and a helping hand. But the focus of volunteering is mutually beneficial. As Mahatma Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. In fact, since its evolution from the Family Support Group in 2000, the FRG's main purpose is providing information to support readiness of each individual. The FRG has established dozens of events and courses for their families. For example, the Army Family Team Building class are designed to inform the new family member of codes and customs as well as the crazy acronyms that the Army uses every day. Also, there are classes given to couples to promote relationship understanding, including Franklin Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective Military Families and marriage retreats that are used with the chaplains. There are a lot of other classes given, including parenting to finances, not to mention the fun events and parties, which have free food and prizes. One of the most important things the FRG does, though, is to prepare families for tragedy. There is a whole group focused on the goal of assisting families when they lose a family member. They are known as the care team, and these volunteers are truly angels in disguise. From answering phones to managing plans and providing food, these people truly help in a time of need. Basically, the FRG wants a level of preparedness in any situation. As you can see, the FRG is really dedicated to its mission. For the Army now, the soldier is an extension of the family, and as Major General Thomas Cutler wrote, taking care of our families is just as important as buying the latest fighter jet, tank, or weapon system. The family should be important. For most soldiers, it determines their decisions. In some cases, it made their decisions, whether it is to support their family or continue a legacy. But without the volunteers, the FRG cannot exist. And as Gene Bragner, author of Passionate Volunteerism, writes, volunteerism is important to be taken and is not to be taken for granted, trivialized, or patronized. Government can't do it all alone. And for democracy to work, all must take part in finding solutions. Otherwise, we will be part of the problem. So do your part for yourself and for others and volunteer in your FRG. If you have any questions or want information, you can see your FRG leader or the FRG.